Fusions and beam struggles, often something I forget about when playing Dragon Ball games. These are often so forgettable is because I usually never really use them. I haven't used them that much in the games besides like very specific points. For example, for content or just out of curiosity. The few Dragon Ball games that use fusions fairly often that I've played are Dragon Blox Ultimate and Dragon Ball Evolution. Now this is because you grind while you have them active, and you can bug the timer in Dragon Ball Evolution for infinite amount of timer, and Ultimate, I don't recall there ever being a timer issue. And as for beam clashes, which is actually really interesting because the only games I could get beam clashes to work were Dragon Ball Z Final Stand and Dragon Ball Evolution. You saw Evolution earlier, but this is what Final Stand looks like, and it's actually really interesting with Final Stand because it doesn't have to actually be a beam. You can actually do it with God Anger too. So anything that's a key move, I suppose, you can do a beam struggle with. I couldn't get it to work with Dragon Ball Rage, and with the Bog actually, Dragon Ball 9 Generations. I know you can do it, but instead of showing the beam clash, what I think is more interesting is that you can actually deflect beams and key moves in general, which is really cool. And I wish they did it more in other games because this is such a unique thing to do. Also, from what I heard, you can do it in Dragon Ball Nexus, but not really a big fan of the game. So, you know, it's just, I haven't played it that much, but it's what I've heard from comments. The first fusion I want to go over in a game is actually Dragon Ball Final Remastered, this game again. So for the fusion dance, you can fuse with an NPC. It can either be Goku, Vegeta, or Gohan. It's around a triple increase in power level, and you have to capitalize the letter of the name, of course, in order for the fusion to actually work. Besides obviously being a game that I play, what makes this so notable for me is that you don't need another player to fuse. It's just an NPC, so you can do it at any time. And it's really cool because there's no like issue with finding another person. It's just very convenient. So let's say you're struggling on a boss for whatever reason, or you're farming, you can just fuse and make it go faster. Very nice, and of course, who doesn't like fusing? The animation in this game does look really beautiful for it. Now, there is a player fusion though, and that's called Potara. Potara fusion does require another player. You type in their name, they accept, and then you fuse. I didn't do it in game, but this is a gift from the Trello, so thank you, the Final Remaster Trello, for this gift. Another game with fusion that I played quite a bit is Dragon Ball Z Final Stand. Now the fusion in this game is actually really simple. So what you're doing here is you have to be within a 5-level range. So to be like 1995, 2000, 501, 496, and then you can fuse any level below or over. Obviously over is fine, but you can't be below obviously, or else you can't fuse. And your stats get added together. There's no Potara, and there probably never will be since there's not going to be an update on this game again. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Final Stand. Really simple fusion, definitely my favorite because it combines your looks too. So you get like a custom fit, and it's really sick with all the forms and mixing. It's very experimental. Dragon Ball Rage is another game that doesn't have Potara, and they never will. The devs said they didn't, which is, I get it, but it's a shame because it's really cool to fuse with the players. But oh well. Anyways, you can fuse with NPCs, you collect their Z-Soul. I've explained this in a video. And you just get certain stat boosts based off it. Some give you health, some give you speed boost, some give you XP boost. The boost increase themselves isn't anything crazy, but it's just mostly for the animation, all the sparkly effects around the avatar, because it's not notable. So, you know, it's just for appearance basically. Now a game that has probably my favorite fusion in general is the Bog. Now, I don't know if it has Potara, but I know that it does have Fusion Dance, and the Fusion Dance thing here is actually really freaking cool. So, when you click Fusion Dance with 2 people, you actually have to do a tiny mini game, and if you fail it, your fusion fails and become like Veku, become an obese player. It's kind of silly. Unfortunately, Dizzy and I have this thing called a skill issue, and we couldn't get this to work after a lot of attempts, so kind of settle with this. You know, I don't mind it at all. I think it's neat that they have this whole mechanic, and I hope this game does start to update more and get more stuff, because this is super neat. I liked how I know this isn't like a part of the fusion, but I like the new animation for the Super Saiyan 3 hair. It's really cool with the aura on. It's just, there's so much happening to this game that I hope it does get what it deserves. And I really do, like, I cannot stress enough how much I like the minigame, because you actually have to do something to make the fusion work, and it feels rewarding to get it done right, because there's consequences to not getting the fusion dance right, like there was in the show. So it's just really, really neat. And I do regret saying in my rankings of the Dragon Ball games that the Bog is like a clone of Final Stand, because after playing it more for footage purposes and video purposes, I really do take that back. It is really its own thing. It's crazy how much stuff there is to it, and I forgot because I played it a lot when it came out, but I just didn't play it, and then after a while and I forgot. So when I came to edit the beam struggles and the fusions for this, I completely take back my statement. I really like it. It's just unfortunate that it doesn't get as many updates as it should. Another notable Dragon Ball game that I've played quite a bit that has the fusion stuff is Dragon Ball Evolution. Now this one, with the fusion dance, what it is there's no level restrictions, but fusion dance just adds your powers together, and there's a timer. It's a 30-minute timer. However, forms will drain your ki faster, not the ki, the timer obviously faster, so keep that in mind. Stronger forms will drain it quicker, weaker forms will not. My favorite takeaway from this game's fusion dance is that the drip, you basically, the person who has control, you'll have their clothing, then you'll have obviously like the fusion like little chest piece over it, which looks very nice. The clothing pieces are always my favorite part of these games. It just makes it more immersive, I suppose, and just very, very cool. Now Potara is a lot simpler. You buy a Potara from Fusion, and then you just throw it at another player, they accept it, and you fuse. The stats for this are added together and slightly multiplied, and you have double the time length. It's the same time as the energy, it's the same time drain as Fusion Dance. Stronger forms drain it quicker. Here's the stats if you want to see it. And as for the drip, obviously you have the earrings, and for whoever who gets priority, when it comes to Fusion Dance, whoever clicks it first gets priority, and for when it comes to Potara, whoever throws it gets priority, and the person's drip will be, well, who has priority. And yeah, as you see, timer is going down quicker because we are in a form. This game definitely has my favorite take on Potara Fusion, because it's not in the way of the stat boost, it's how you obtain it. You have to buy the earrings, and then forms drain a ki faster. Ki bro, timer faster. It drains the timer faster, so you have to be careful with it. And it's unfortunate that this is probably like one of the last times we're gonna see DBE. DBE, I don't know, man. DBE's not been doing too great lately, and I sincerely hope that they're working on updates to fix it, but who knows, man. Unfortunately, that's kind of it. I mean, I feel like I've covered everything. There's not much else. Everything else in all the games are pretty much the same. Beam struggles are different in every game. I'm sure there's games that I've played that I couldn't do it out of pure skill issue, because I couldn't do it correctly or whatever. But I hope there's more use of them in PvE, because they're very prominent in PvP. Like, if you do PvP all the time, you're going to be running into them, especially from what I heard from Dragon Ball Nexus. So, you know, there's always that. It's such a situational thing. And before I end the video, I'm going to give you guys a Dragon Ball skit that I made a while ago, but it fits this very format very well, so I'm going to play it here and hope you enjoy it. So yeah, that's pretty much been it, guys. Have a good day, blah blah blah. I'm padding out the video link, don't mind me. Hold on, wait a minute. Oh crap. Okay, now enjoy the skit.
Leave the planet peacefully, or else, no mortal, it's your time to die. You'll never win black, I won't let you. As long as you live, there is always a game. Silly mortal, you will never win. Wait, what? What is this sudden power? Full power! Live this power black. This is the power of the same race. No. Is gone, dead. Let the multiverse know peace now.
And so there was Beast. Vegeta won the battle and the multiverse was saved, but he remained ready because there is always more threats waiting to arise.